Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Digital Den. We are here with our yet again victorious Coach Marksbury. Thank you for joining us in the studio. So an absolutely phenomenal night. Friday, great homecoming wrap up. A 38-0 win over Western Hills. Just go ahead and take that away. A little summary of that game.
Well, the first thing was it was a great week just for our school. Homecoming week was exciting. Seemed like we had a lot of participation from our students in all the different themes for the week, and then we took care of business on Friday night and capped off the week in a really good way, and then we had the homecoming dance on Friday or Saturday. It seemed like it got a lot of positive reviews on that. So everything it's just a great week, and again, it's another one of those things. That's the overall high school experience for kids, and you hope that they all can take care of it. And then the crowd and everything on Friday night, and played a clean game on Friday. So yeah, I mean it went as well as it could, and our kids were excited and they played well, and glad they got to enjoy a victory.
Yeah, obviously, having support makes winning more fun. But really just a whole week of festivities, and it feels like the whole school is kind of in on it. The pep rally Friday, Kalen Stewart did a great job with that. Does that buzz for an entire week leading up to a game, what does that do psychologically for your team?
Well, it just keeps them engaged. You kind of knew that they were going to probably they always do give their best effort, but it's just it's kind of like a greater cause. They got the whole school behind you and everything like that. So it's just you're kind of capping off the whole entire week. It's all leading up to that Friday night game, and you don't want to go out there and kind of screw all that up, screw the whole week up by not playing well on homecoming week. But no, it's our school. That's what our school's about, and so much energy and so much excitement all through the week, and then Friday night, everybody's showing up. The dance, the cheer, the band, the students, the stands were packed, everything. So it's just great week, and we were excited to be able to have some positive things happen on the field.
Yeah, and also throughout the week, there was a lot of buzz on social media. There was a lot of trash talk going on, and I know your players were at least aware of it. Mm-hmm. Is that something that gets addressed in the locker room or during practice? Is that a little motivation you add in there as a coach?
No, I usually don't say anything about it. I just I think our kids know that we don't want to get involved in that stuff. We try to let we just kind of just focus on getting ourselves prepared. And I knew there was some stuff going around and got some chuckles out of it and everything like that. But it's we want to focus on what we take care of our business, and we always just tell them we never, we do address the way our behavior on the field is, because we always just tell our kids, look, we don't talk, we don't do any of that stuff. Let the scoreboard talk for us, and there's nothing better than talking is when somebody has to walk off the field after they've lost a game. So that's how we do take care of our business. Yeah. But yes, I was aware of it, and I did see some of it. So.
Yeah, it makes winning a lot sweeter.
It does
when you can shut somebody up. And then speaking of winning, 38-0 win, and I think the win was at least expected. I think that was probably the outcome that a lot of people expected to see Friday. But in the manner of which it was done, I mean, you look at blowouts from the past, it's usually just, Wade has like a 200-yard night and you run all over him. But, I mean, Jarrett had a phenomenal game again. It was really good for him. A shutout at that. I mean, you don't want to say a perfect game, but it doesn't really get much better than that. Did you see that as the fans saw as a game where, wow, we were clicking on everything? Or
Well, when you look at it and when you watch the film, and this is no disrespect to them, it's just the teams that they played versus it was just night and day. I mean, it's quite honestly, if they had played our schedule, they would have been 0-5. That's what their record would have been, and it was just different. And and it's not anything. Coach Vanderpool was doing a great job, and he had to put his team in games where they could compete, but it was just different. And when we went out there, you could tell the way we got off the ball. And the one thing that, as coaches, we watch a great deal of film every week. Even though we didn't get the results against Franklin County that we wanted, we could look at the film and see that we were getting better. There were some areas the results hadn't followed. Now, basically, we kind of felt like, okay, we had our pieces in place. The fundamentals were starting to come together. Now all the kids needed was some confidence. Now we needed those kids to be able to go out there and say, okay, all the hard work that I'm doing, okay, and the Fairdale game, you don't ever want to complain about a win, but I just didn't think we played as good as we should have, and it was a little bit closer than I was expecting it to be. This game here, I kind of thought we just went out and kind of took it to them, and you could see Western Hills was a little bit shell-shocked.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at a team, if you don't understand it, you look at a team and say, oh, this team's 1-4, they must not be very good. And then when you get here and you could tell them looking at us, when they walk onto the field, that we were just not what they were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But their coaches understood that.
Yeah.
Their coaches understood that. But, it was a really good night, and, glad we took care of business, glad we got out of it healthy, and got a lot of kids with a lot of playing time. So it was good.
Yeah. There's a couple sequences from the game that really stuck out to me, and one of them I know you really like was, I forget his name, Sutton, just down the sideline, and it looks like he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kellen, who we all know is one of the fastest kids you can find on the field, just 10 yards back, runs him down, brings him down. And then they get another big run, bring it to 1st and goal, and then 4 plays, our D-line just stops them. That whole sequence, we know our defense is good, and we know our defense has been clicking, and you can kind of tell the confidence is setting in. But does that play kind of speak a little bit more to what this defense is? Because it would have been so easy at that point just to, they score, whatever, we're still up big, but they still hold them. What does that tell you as a coach?
Well, you don't. One thing that we always say is we don't ever assume that somebody else is going to make the play, because I think sometimes in games against, matter of fact, the perfect example was after that. Well, I'll get to that, but anyway, Kellen, we were down, we were up 24-0. He could have very easily said, "I'll let the guy go score," and he didn't assume that there was a couple guys in front of him that they were going to get him, and he ran him down at the 15, and it gave our defense a second chance. And then, we end up getting the goal line stand. But how I was going to correlate that, if you watch, after we stop them, we run a play and Kellen scores from 97 yards. Was he's being chased by number 10. Number 10 realized that he wasn't going to catch him, so he lets up. And number 2 is coming across the field with an angle. Well, 10 lets up instead of continuing on to chase him. And number 2 comes over to tackle him, and when he does, he just slides off Kellen, and he keeps going. Well, then number 10 realizes, oh my gosh, 2 didn't make the tackle. I've got to run. Now he's quit running, so he's got to start again. So that allowed that whole play where he probably should have been tackled on the 30-yard line. He wasn't, because, again, that kid assumed that somebody else was going to make the tackle. And our kids play hard, but those are winning plays. Those are plays that our kids all across the field make at all times, running, and we do pursuit drills and trying to get them to where they're chasing the football, and you always try to force a turnover, and you want to make sure you got guys there to recover the fumble or whatnot. But it's a case in point of a kid wanting to not wanting to give up points, and that's important, and it's something that hopefully other kids feed off of.
And then another sequence that stuck out to me for obvious reasons, because I love the kid, was Brady getting 3 consecutive plays where he cracks off a big run, and then he made really good moves, didn't really get much, and then scores. Was that deliberate, trying to give him that?
Well, yeah. We wanted, the thing about it was Brady's come in and he doesn't, his attitude. He's so positive. He works so hard. He understands the game. He's very, very football smart. But, it's another one of those things. He played in the 8th grade. He didn't play as a freshman. He come back out as a sophomore. Very intentional. I want to make sure that we've got him in positions where he can have success. You don't want You don't want to put kids in positions where they have bad experiences or anything like that. And he's done a phenomenal job all year. And yes, we want to make sure that he got rewarded for all the work that he puts in. And look, he's got a lot of skill. I mean, he's very similar. I mean, him and Kellen are very similar. On the, he has vision. He can see things. Kellen's probably got a little bit more of a burst on him, as far as speed. But Brady's he's really talented and understands the game and such a great teammate.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about the most important thing being wins, but sometimes you want to stack things on top of wins, get guys going. Mm-hmm. And as a Spencer County fan, it was just great to see kind of a vintage Kellen performance one. That was games that we were used to seeing him have, and it seems like he hasn't had one of those this year. So it's great to see him have one of those, and then Jarrett having a really good game. And it's against an opponent who we had the upper hand on, no doubt. But is that confidence real? That performance, does that help them?
Well, the first thing is football is a very, very difficult game to play when you're not healthy, and especially hard to play when you got a banged up shoulder. So probably hindsight being 2020, we probably shouldn't have played Kellen against Fairdale, but we felt like that was a game we needed to win. So he's just got to suck it up and go. But you can tell when he was playing, he was doing everything he could out there not to land on the shoulder, not to get hit on the shoulder because it was so sore and sensitive. And when you're out there trying to play like that, it just makes it tough, and it makes it harder to run and everything like that. But it was just something that we needed. We felt like we needed him that night to get the win, and he toughed it out. And then Jarrett got banged up a little bit at the end of the Fairdale game. So football is a tough sport, and especially when you got your shoulder banged up, I mean it's tough to play. And he was 100% Friday, so and he was almost 100% at Franklin County. But the thing about it is, what happens, it's a mental thing, because it's like you're out there playing and you're like, okay, is my shoulder good, or when I go to hit somebody, is it going to aggravate it again? And what he had, that AC joint sprain, it's just one of them things that'll feel good, then you get hit on it again, and all of a sudden it aggravates it again. And once it aggravates it, it's just a process. It's nothing major. It's just how much pain can you deal with. Mm-hmm. And in that Fairdale game, he was really dealing with a lot of pain, and that's why a lot of times you would see him scoot out of bounds or anything he could do to try to avoid getting hit on it. But he was 100% on Friday. He trusted it. He wasn't, because I told him, I said, either it's well or you're not playing. One of the two. We're going to get this thing to where it's not an issue anymore. So it's that was a big hurdle to get over for him. And you could see, he was playing fast. And our whole team. I mean, our defense played faster. Our offense played faster. And when I say play faster, I'm not saying, yes, we were faster than Western Hills. But I'm just saying, when you look out there, they're running faster. They're playing harder, and a lot of that was confidence. I mean, it's just when you go out there and things aren't going your way, confidence becomes an issue. And when you're not very confident, you're playing a little bit slower, and that's what happened to us. And we're kind of hoping that now, we've kind of the difficult schedule, a confidence builder. It's just stuff that we can close out the season on a positive note.
And some other things I just kind of want to shout out is kicker Kyle drilling his field goals from distance, and then Keenan Carnes with his interception. And Keenan Carnes was running the ball, was he not?
Well, yes. That is a plan. We've been working with Keenan. Played fullback in middle school, but it's been
some time.
It's been some time since he played, so he goes through the drills and stuff like that. But that's something that we are going to continue to
explore. That's exciting.
Yeah, but it's just one of them things. He's a little bit bigger, and he just gives us a little bit more pop back there. And not that Danny's done anything wrong. It's just a different look, and it's moving the pile forward a little bit more and stuff like that. But he's also a very valuable linebacker. So it's very difficult to take those kids when it's 95 degrees and have them go out there and play linebacker and fullback. But now as the weather starts cooling, we let those kids start playing a little bit more both ways.
And now this week going back.
But I will mention Kyle, the field goal, he drilled that, and
Money.
he's been kicking well. We spend a lot of time on that stuff, and it's good snap, good hold, and good kicks the way it should be.
Yeah, I think that was good for Kyle to get that.
Oh, absolutely.
From this, and that was a frustrating drive where we had Drew with the big run after catch, called back for penalty, and then
Right.
I think like probably 8 more penalties on that.
No,
drive.
we
And
kind of
then-
shot ourselves in the foot.
And then
there.
Kyle just drills. I think that was a great moment for him. But this week after Western Hills, just a little like compare, contrast from Western Hills to Henry. How is this matchup going to look?
Well, it's a really even matchup, I think.
Okay.
They have we've played them every year. They kind of know what we do. We know what they do. They've got a couple of really nice backs, number 7 and number 21. And their quarterbacks. They've got 6 or 7 players back from last year's team. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. They're very aggressive on defense. They're going to put a lot of people up near the line of scrimmage and try to force us to do some things. But we think we have some answers and all that stuff. So no, it should be a really, really, really good game. I mean, it's this is one of those games. They're a talented team. They're 4-1. They played North Odom on Friday. And that game went down to the wire, and North Odom pulled it out at the end. But I think when we got in after our game, I think it was tied 14-14 or maybe 14-13 or something like that. But no, this is one of those games. The next 3 games with Henry, Shelby, and North Odom. I mean, those are games that I really feel good, but we have to play. We have to play well. We can't turn the ball over, and I'm not saying they are a really good team. I think we're progressing and getting better and healthy, and all that stuff matters. But it's one of those games, whoever goes out there and makes a fewer mistakes. Now they do throw it a little bit more than we do, and they're one of those teams. If you can stop the run, they'll start throwing it around a little bit. But we're fine with that too. So.
And I think the best thing about this 50-50 matchup is it's coming home.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's going to help us a lot. And I kind of ask you this question every week of who has to step up, what are the names that we're going to hear on Friday, but a little spin on it. What's going to be our X factor as a team? What do we have that Henry County just does not have the answer for?
Well, I mean, we need to get Drew involved a little bit more, and we kept trying the other night, and like I said, we threw the screen to him and everything, and then it gets called back, and so yeah, we want to get Drew involved in the offense a little bit more, and we kind of got our packages. You can see as every week goes along, you can see us developing a little bit more. We got a little bit more depth, and we've got Danny that can carry. We got Keenan, we got Brody, we got Brady, we got Ethan Hampton, we got Kellen, we got Jared throwing it. We need to get Eric a little bit more involved in the offense too. I think the middle might be an area that we can take advantage of, but. It's our secondary is going to be put to a test this week because they've got a guy that lines up in the slot that's catches number 23. He catches a lot of passes. So, but we've got some things that we can help our DBs on with that. But that's Drew's definitely, and it's not anything that he's not done. It's just we've got to. Like last week, the game got away from us so fast as far as us getting the lead. You didn't want to throw it when you were up, all that. But he's definitely somebody we need to get the ball in his hands a little bit more. You saw the move. We threw the screen to him the other night. You saw his movement getting down towards the goal line. So, but that's definitely, I'd say Drew and Eric getting those involved in the passing game a little bit more.
Typically when you have a pass heavy or just a pass first team in general. The clock doesn't move as much, and it's a pretty fast-paced game. Do you expect it to be a very fast-paced game, high-scoring?
Well, I think we want to run it and throw when we want to throw. I think they throw it a little bit more. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they might have thrown it 32 times the other night against North Odom. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. They ran 75 offensive plays against North Odom the other night, so that's a bunch of plays to run in a high school game. It's one of those things. If we go, we're pretty good against the run. I think if we stop the run, they'll start throwing it around a little bit, which could extend the game a little bit. But we're run to set up the pass. I mean, that's, they're gonna have to prove that they can stop us. So.
Mm-hmm. And every week we talked about those keys to victory. How important, how important are you stressing stopping that run to force them to look down the field? How important is it that Drew and those guys get involved? What are the keys to victory this week?
Well, I think one thing that we have to do is we just have to they have some of their players that you can tell that they put them in certain spots to try to get them the ball. So you just have to be aware of that stuff. And I think that's another thing we did such a good job. Sometimes I felt like when we were playing defense and stuff like that, we never had a view of our surroundings. We were but you have to pay attention to the formations and recognize the formations and see where they have people lined up, and just make sure that you're aware. Like 23 is somebody like in the passing game. We got to make sure we know where he is. 7 is their leading rushers, and 7 and 21. So you just got to realize they got some tendencies on when they're going to run the ball and everything like that. And you just got to be alert to it. And the good thing about us is we don't gamble a lot on defense. We try to just play very, very sound defense. We don't blitz. We don't do anything like that. We play really good sound technique, and whenever anybody tries to bounce it, we just got people there waiting for them. And so I think that is very positive in our defense, because we don't give people a lot of gaps to run through. It's just now you don't see us making a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage like 5 or 6 yards, because that's just not what we do. But we don't gamble. We try to understand how they're trying to attack us, and they run the counters and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but that's defense needs to stop the run, and then we just be who we are, and not turn the ball over. And honestly, the other thing too, I think one thing that I think we're getting to the point where we can say that we are winning the special teams game every week with Tommy's kickoffs, Tommy's punts, Kyle and his field goals and everything. We're winning the field position, and all that stuff goes into it to making it very difficult for teams to score.
And I asked the question straight up, how far were we from playing our best football? And coming off of 38-0, kind of finding our rhythm going up against an evenly matched opponent. Will this be a game that'll kind of tell you where we are as a team?
Absolutely. We need to, because there's more things that we can do offensively, especially like getting Drew involved a little bit more. But last week the game, it's just,
not the day for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this will kind of let us know this is a good measuring stick for us as far as, okay, we played the really good teams. Now we played Western Hills, and Henry County's a step up. Now then, are they Hart County? I would say probably Hart County is definitely probably a step up from them. And but that's no disrespect to them. Hart County's undefeated, and we'll probably finish the season undefeated. So, so we've played teams like this. We've played teams like this, and we're excited to match up against them.
And then always to round us up for the week, message to the fans.
Oh yeah, we need them. Hey, it's a special environment. Hey, every coach that comes and plays us comments on the atmosphere out there. Coach Vanderpool, he's from southeastern Kentucky and been at North Laurel and University of the Cumberland. When we went out and talked before the game during warm-ups, he was just amazed at the environment. So it's just, hopefully we can keep putting a good product out there that makes everybody want to keep coming back. But we need the community, we need the students, and need to make Friday a special night.
Yep, I'm excited. I'm going to be working my tail off this week trying to get everybody out.
And just one more thing, we will be recognizing Friday night. This is the 20-year anniversary of the first football team at Spencer County High School. So a lot of those guys that were on that team will be here Friday, and we're going to recognize them. So that'll be a big night.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys for tuning back in as always. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can hit a little bell, get notifications going for you. Head on over to our Instagram. What is that again? SCHS.den. Digital. SCHS.digitalden on Instagram. Follow all Spencer County's socials. We have stuff going up all the time. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it.